Yeah, they need to go further that way. How do you want it to hold? We're blocking the speaker, I guess.
I'm ready. Yep. Hello? Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Castle. Welcome to our Memory Field dedication ceremony. It's a very special day for Castle, and it's a very special day for the families that we help and the children that we help. If you would be so kind, we are going to pay attention to the flag bearers as they go to put the flags in the field, and then we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. Go ahead. One at a time. Thank you, gentlemen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Castle Board Vice President, Joanne Baker.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon to dedicate this 2013 Memory Field. Thanks to our sponsors, Sunrise Ford and Carruthers, for the dedication of our field. Castle is an organization dedicated to the prevention of child abuse with a mission to improve the quality of family life by providing community education, support, and resources for parents in need of assistance. While the Memory Field is visually beautiful, each of the 126 flags you see here today represents a child who died in the state of Florida as a result of child abuse or neglect last year. Of the 126, only 13 were over the age of 6. This Memory Field is a very somber reminder of the highest cost of child abuse, a problem that exists right here on the Treasure Coast, and one that we should work to eliminate. On behalf of the Castle Governing Board, I encourage you to get involved and help us try to eliminate the number of flags here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanne. Next up is Castle's Executive Director, Teresa Garbarino-May.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Today is Tuesday, March 26th, and the headlines of the local newspapers on the front page speak to 2 children who suffered from child abuse, 2 separate families, unrelated, One child left unsupervised for over 8 hours a day for 3 months. And someone in the neighborhood took it upon themselves to be able to try to report this tragedy to protect this child. The other was a 4-year-old child who suffered physical abuse, was beaten by a dog chain and a belt on behalf of his dad. And we read those in the paper today and we wonder, why is this still happening in our community here in St. Lucie County? These two children, one lived in Fort Pierce, one in Port St. Lucie. It's appropriate that we talk about this today for those two children and for all the others who suffer from abuse that nobody knows about. CASTL's an organization that's been in this community for 31 years. We've worked with over 2,100 families in St. Lucie County alone in that amount of time. And we will stretch this year to reach over 5,000 people who have difficulties with parenting and child abuse and divorce situations and the need for supervised visitation because of domestic violence. Is it enough? No, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. We're barely scratching the surface of the families who need us, and we don't even know who they all are. But we feel so compelled here at CASTL to continue to do what we were originally intended, and that is to teach good parenting skills to parents and to prevent child abuse so that children actually have an opportunity to grow up in healthy family lives, much like many of us here today have done. It takes a small army to do this. And CASTL has over 70 employees that work every day diligently on behalf of these parents in their home environments, at their living room tables, coffee tables, and their dining room tables. And they talk about parenting skills and how we were raised as children so that we can understand what goes on in someone's home behind that closed door. And our hope is that we can take and offer good parenting skills and replace inappropriate behaviors with good ones so that we can break a pattern or a cycle so that the next generation of children do not suffer the same dilemma that these children are facing right now, today. We go into the school systems in every elementary school and middle school, and we teach high hopes for kids to children who are suffering from the emotional consequences of divorce, because children either show you their behavior or they don't show you anything, but either way, they are affected by the actions of their parents. And our job is to help them cope with that and get through those struggling times so that when they become adults, they're well-rounded and well-balanced and can function and take on our places in this society. We also have lots of parenting classes and divorce classes for families that need those services. For just about every parenting need there, CASTL has the answers for families who are struggling, and we hope to continue. Today is the day that we are here in honor of the Memory Field. This is the 7th year that CASTL's been offering this promotion in honor as a tribute to the families who have suffered the loss of their children due to child abuse. Over 1,000 children have been memorialized with these white flags in the 7 years that we've been doing this dedication. This year, as you heard Joanne say, there's 126 children represented. It is way too many of our children. And our hearts go out to the families who have had children represented here. We pray for the families and for the children, and on days like today when the wind is blowing and the flags are flying, we can only think that these children are looking down upon us and saying, please put an end to this. Unite together, because that's the only way you're going to be successful. So that's what we are asking of you today. Figure out if you have a place with CASTL in our future. Help us to put an end to the tragedy of child abuse for these families here in this Treasure Coast community so that many of you heard us say in the past, we want to fly one flag so that it's a tribute that we have put an end to child abuse here in our communities, because we do believe that destiny is a choice. And today we hope that you choose Castle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Teresa. It is now my pleasure to introduce Chief John Baldock is here today. He's an example of the great partnership that Castle has with the police department, the sheriff's department, the fire department. It is so essential for us to all bond together and try to stop this. And they help us every day. And he's going to say a few words. Chief Baldock.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us to honor the memory of the 126 children who lost their lives in the state of Florida last year due to child abuse. According to the Journal of Child Abuse and Neglect, child abuse is a recent act or a failure to act on the part of a parent or a caretaker which results in the death, serious physical or emotional harm, sexual abuse or exploitation, or an act or failure to act which presents an imminent risk to a child. In Florida, child abuse is legally defined by the intentional infliction of physical or mental injury upon a child, or an intentional act that could reasonably be expected to result in the physical or mental injury to a child. Whether you're looking at the clinical or the legal definition, child abuse is just plain unacceptable. Yet, in 2011, approximately 681,000 cases of child abuse were reported in the United States. This is intolerable. We can do better. We must do better. This problem is not just a problem for law enforcement. It's a problem every member of our community should get involved with. CASTLE is an acronym which stands for Child Abuse, Services, Training, and Life Enrichment. It is an organization for the prevention of child abuse with a mission to improve quality of family life and prevent child abuse and neglect by providing community education, support, and resources for parents in need of assistance. At the core of CASTLE lies the CASTLE passion, namely to make this a better world for children in our community. CASTLE believes that it is imperative for our society to invest in our children. CASTLE also strongly believes that child abuse can be prevented. CASTLE offers parenting classes for every aspect of family life, but the main focus is prevention of child abuse. Every member of the community can help make a statement in support of child abuse prevention by sponsoring a flag or a ribbon. We ask everyone to make a decision. Remember those children who will never have the opportunity to live, laugh, and play in a world that should have loved them, cherished them, and given them an opportunity to thrive in a healthy, happy home. We need to remember so that others will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. Now I would like to introduce someone that was brought to Castle because of this memory field. She was a guest at the memory field, and she has a very personal story of what it meant to her. Gina DeRosa, a friend of Castle's.
Good afternoon, everyone. My heart is so heavy to see all of these 126 flags flying in Memory Field today. I think it can be hard to look at all of these flags and remember that each flag is an innocent life lost. Each one of them has a story. 4 years ago, my son Brogan was being remembered on this field. He was murdered by his father in late 2008. I was left with nothing but the memories of my son When my mom found out about Memory Field, I felt that I could share Brogan's story with my community and have a safe place to grieve. My mother and I stood here on the field and we cried. Next to Brogan's beautiful white flag waving in the breeze. I was so overwhelmed with grief, and the members of the Castle family comforted me. They helped me remember Brogan, and they helped me be able to leave with a bit of peace in my heart. We'll never know who these children might have been. They could have been doctors, scientists, physicists, or even the next Nobel Prize winner. We'll never know, because all of their dreams and their parents' dreams for them went away with their beautiful little faces. We should all thank Castle for giving these children the voice that they may have never had. It's time to throw a wrench in the gears of child abuse. We do that by educating ourselves, by becoming better parents and grandparents, and by being supportive of each other. It takes real courage to be able to reach out and admit, I need help. Castle can help you. We can all help you. The community can help you. And we can all help to make sure that the number of flags on this field has gone down by leaps and bounds next year. We all need to join together and advocate for these children. We need to be their voices and stand up for them. The children of today are all that we have. If we plant the seed of love and nourish it with compassion, understanding, and encouragement, we can raise a strong generation that we are proud to give to the earth. Every child deserves to live without fear and without pain. They deserve the comfort and safety that comes with being at home. Unfortunately, for 126 kids last year, that wasn't the case. We need to break the cycle of child abuse once and for all. In the words of the prestigious Carol Bellamy, when the lives and rights of children are at stake, there must be no silent witnesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. As you can see, she speaks about courage, but I don't think I've ever met anyone as courageous as she is. I'd like to now take this opportunity to thank you all for coming to this occasion and to remember as you go today that what we do here at Castle every day is help children, help families, and help the community at large. I would like to ask that as we end, when we're going to hear taps, that you please walk through the field and take a look at some of the names. Each of these children had a name, they had a future. And in our estimation, with the services of Castle, we can assure that more children will have that future and not end up in this field. And for that and for your support, we are very grateful today. And I thank everyone for being here today, our board of directors, our employees, our executive director, Chris Robertson, our development associate, and all our volunteers that came out to help today. We can't do what we do without you, and I thank you very much.